Recording in progress.
Good morning and welcome to the youth-led service. It's very nice to see you all today. My name is David Hobson, and today I am joined by worship associates all from the high school youth group service. Julia Hayes, Kai McKenzie, Clara Danley, and Lauren Stamen. We are still taking dinner donations, by the way, for our Sunday night group. We meet every week and have been planning this for what feels like forever, but it's really only been a couple of months. We tried to find a cool theme for our worship and struggled greatly because what are we going to talk about that you haven't heard already? Plus, we just had loads of great ideas. Then we put our thinking caps on and came up with the idea of our hidden lives. How do our individual experiences shape who we are around others today? How much about these lives does our community know? Oftentimes in our church, we speak about differences that are more visible and extreme, or unique identities. But today, we ask you to look at yourself, at your neighbor, and ask yourself, what is happening? What things are you struggling with that the person next to you might not know about just by looking at you, or something that you are incredibly proud of? Does your neighbor know about these things? Do they look at you and read the secrets in your eyes? What things could they be struggling with that you are unaware of? We would like to take the next hour or so and explore how to value each other through different times in their lives, how to appreciate each other without trying to change them, and share some hidden depths from the youth through the lens of our core values as a church, all centered around love. We will look at each other and see. If you are a visitor or are new to Unitarian Universalism, we want to make sure that you know that you can bring your whole self, your full identity, your questioning mind, your expansive heart. We welcome and embrace our trans, non-binary, genderqueer siblings, our immigrant and refugee friends, and everyone looking for a spiritual home in which to thrive and find meaningful connections. Welcome.
And now we are going to rise as a congregation in body and or spirit, and we're going to sing, "Come Sing a Song with Me." Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream
Our lives are made up of many stories and many choices, but our journey is also shaped by the people around us. There are so many stories woven into a life, and the road we take is full of the places we've been and the people we've met. These connections bind us together and remind us that we are never alone. As we enter into worship, put away the pressures of the world that ask us to perform, to take up masks, to put up brave fronts. Silence the voices that ask you to be perfect. This is a community of compassion and welcoming. You don't have to do anything to earn the love contained within these walls. You don't have to be braver, smarter, stronger, better than you are in this moment to belong here with us. You only have to bring the gift of your body, no matter how able, your seeking mind, no matter how busy, your animal heart, no matter how broken. Bring all that you are and all that you love to this hour together. Come, let us worship together. We at East Shore Unitarian Church acknowledge that this land is the traditional territory of the Coast Salish peoples. We recognize the impact of settler colonialism and pledge to nurture our relationship with our Indigenous neighbors. Their ways and understanding will guide us as we work to restore and sustain their homelands upon which we all depend.
Now, please join us in the chalice lighting response. You can find it printed in your order of service. We light this chalice to remind ourselves to treat all people kindly, because they are siblings in spirit, to take good care of the earth, because it is our home, and to try to fill lives with goodness and love, because that is how we can become the best people we can be.
And we also invite you to read the covenant printed in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this church, the quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to serve humanity in fellowship, do we covenant.
Children of all ages are invited to join us up on the front of our story rug. It is now time to come up and sit together to hear a story. I want you to find a safe place on the rug where your body can wiggle if it needs to, without hurting yourself or your friends. We are going to stay on the rug because on the chancel is not a good place for your body to wiggle. There are steps and other things that can cause you to get hurt. Together, we are going to sit here with our arms. We will blow in the air and be ready to listen, ready to be curious, and ready to be together in our special place. Has anyone heard the story of Corduroy the bear? Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small green bear in overalls. Then, one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button on one of his shoulder straps." Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight, I'll go and see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped on an escalator, and up he went. Could this be a mountain? He wondered. I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. He stepped off the escalator and reached the next floor, and there before his eyes was a most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," Corduroy gasped. "I've always wanted to live in a palace." He wandered around, admiring the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. And all at once, he saw something small and round. "Why, there's my button," he cried. And he tried to pick it up. But like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. He yanked and pulled with both paws until pop, off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled. Bang into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else walking in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above when he heard the crash. He came down, dashing down the escalator. "Now, who in the world did that?" he exclaimed. "Somebody must be hiding around here." He flashed his light under and over the sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all, and there he saw two fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the covers. "Hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the top shelf in the toy department with all the other animals and dolls. "Shall I put him in a box?" Oops. "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the sales lady asked. I think this book is missing some pages." "Okay, great." Corduroy was just waking up when the first customer came into the store in the morning. And there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd only seen the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I've saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." "Here we go." "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the sales lady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up the 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight into her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers alongside the little girl-sized bed, just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. "This must be home," he said. "I know, I've always wanted a home." Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like you the way you are," she said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." "You must be a friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and gave him a big hug.
Now is the time in the service when we invite children to come with us to the education building to continue learning together in small groups. If you're new here, please have your grown-ups come with you to check in. May the congregation join in singing Rainbow Connection.
Now, the kids wanted to sing all the verses to Rainbow Connection, which I was delighted to do because I love this song. Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the that calls the young sailors, the voice might be one in the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da da dee da dee da, la da 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 la da da da.
They say people don't change, but I have seen the great sequoias and know they were once not even saplings, but seeds buried in the imagination of the earth. So much change happens below the surface, and what we can't see relies so heavily on dormancy. What we can't control are perfect conditions that cause the radical first shoot to grow. I look at my own limbs now in the middle of what I hope to be my lifetime, and I can't see exactly how my roots have intertwined with others, but I know in moments of hunger I've been fed, and what was once barely a shadow has become a shelter.
Apologies, I didn't have time to print my homily, so I'm going to have to read it off my phone. I'd like to briefly talk to you all today about family, mine specifically, but that is merely an anecdote. I hope that you can take from my story something about your own relationships and how you go through life with other people. My parents have been happily married for coming up on 18 years now, though my chemistry teacher still thinks that they're divorced. I'm not exactly sure how to rectify this, but here's the situation. One week, I had a fever and missed a day or two of school, and when I came back, I informed my chemistry teacher that I wouldn't need her help to review before the upcoming test because my dad's partner, who works in science, had helped me review instead. This didn't strike me as anything out of the ordinary. Shan has been in my life since I was 8, over half of my life, and I didn't think anything of the exchange. Then, circa Thanksgiving, when my teacher asked about holiday traditions and I told her that my family watches Lord of the Rings, she asked if I did that with my mom or my dad. It was a fair assumption. She had met both my parents individually, and for most people, the default assumption isn't, oh, of course, polyamory, but that is in fact the answer for my family. Some people get uncomfortable when I tell them this. The fact that my parents are polyamorous is somehow an attack on the fact that their parents, or even they themselves, are monogamous. That I can brush off. But what I can't brush off so easily is people pitying me. According to them, my life is somehow worse because I do not have a nuclear family. But as corny as it may sound, love does not divide. It does, in fact, multiply. Shan didn't want kids. In fact, she was apprehensive about going out with my dad because he had a daughter. In the end, she did, though, but with the clear intention that she wanted nothing to do with me. That is not how it ended up working out, though, for which I am incredibly grateful. One day, in 3rd grade, my parents took me and my friend out to a fancy pizza place where I first met Shan, and my dad told me that I should specify when I tell the story that I was being a royal pain in the butt. I couldn't understand why my parents wanted me to like this woman so much, and so, as the little contrarian I was, I actively decided that I didn't. Especially as she started appearing at family dinners and holidays and events, I was thoroughly dismayed. Not even because I didn't like her, but because she was a disruption to my norm. As time went on, though, she became increasingly more difficult to dislike. We talk about books and science and our mutual love for animals. We both agree that the number 3 is green and that Michael Jackson rocks, and she even introduced me to roller derby, which is now one of my biggest passions. Often I wish that I hadn't spent so long in my unfounded animosity, but Shan doesn't hold it against me. On the other hand, my mother and I fight like cats and dogs. We love each other deeply, but God, are we in each an enigma to the other. My mom also has severe hearing loss, meaning that she can't listen to me even if she wanted to. She doesn't know who my best friends are, or my favorite subjects in school, or what I want to do with my life, or the role in the school play. And while I understand that it isn't intentional, that doesn't change the fact that it really hurts. Shan has never had any obligation to me. Still, she knows all these things and more. There she is in my texts giving me advice, and at my roller derby games with signs cheering me on, and in the front rows of my performances. All places that my mom hasn't been in years. She was the first person I told about my hopes of joining a band, how scared I was and am about applying to college, and my very first date. She never wanted any kids, but when she started coming to dinner at our house, she gained a daughter. Not only has Shan taught me how to dye my hair, how a Punnett square works, and that people will stand up for and believe in me, but she has taught me that family is not just born, it is made. Thank you.
A couple of months ago, I learned of a bylaw in our church. I don't know exactly which one it is, but it states that if this church ever goes bankrupt, the land goes to the UUA. That surprised me. Every Sunday, we begin our service by acknowledging that this land was not originally ours, and that we are committed to nurturing our relationship with Indigenous neighbors. So why would we have a plan that ensures the land stays out of their hands? I was curious and asked Amanda who had come up with that decision. She wasn't sure, but she explained that the board makes these kinds of choices, which made me interested in the board. She gave me a loose explanation of what they do, and it sounded not like fun, I'm gonna be honest. But like something that I might enjoy being a part of. There was just one problem. I'm too young by a single year. Well, 11 months now, if anyone's counting. But Red, over there, is not. Given how excited people always seem when talking about youth leadership and how often I hear adults in our church saying they long for youth to be involved, I thought that this would be challenging, but not impossible. I assumed we'd have supportive adults guiding us along the way. I have not had that experience. As a younger child in this church, I didn't always mind not being included. I was honestly fine with not standing in front of the entire congregation. But now, as a teen who wants to be involved, being constantly shuffled into an RV room feels stifling. The only times the congregation, the very people who say they love seeing youth, actually see us is during the pageant and the youth-led service. So when Ren and I expressed interest in the board, I expected excitement. Instead, it felt like we hit a roadblock at every turn, simply because we are youth. At first, they suggested an internship to make sure we were ready for the responsibility, which is not something they require of adults. And last I checked, which was 2 weeks ago, there's nothing in the bylaws about a youth internship for the board. Then, when we showed up to a board meeting to demonstrate our commitment, we were told it was too late to change the slate, which confused me. The slate isn't voted on until June, and even if it were too late, there are ways to be nominated, through a petition or self-nomination. We had to dig through the bylaws ourselves to learn that, because no one helping us mentioned it as an option. They weren't interested in either of our prior leadership experiences. I've been on ASB, which requires managing of funds and voting on facets of school. I've taught younger children how to dance, which has made me a better leader and communicator. I've also been an on-the-spot sub for dance classes, which gives me flexibility, both literal and figurative, and decisiveness. Now, I want to be clear. This isn't meant to be a call-out to the board. I'm sure from their perspective that this all makes sense and comes from a place of concern. But I also know that if we were adults, these barriers wouldn't exist. No one would tell an adult they needed an internship before being on the board. And no one would withhold basic election information from someone genuinely trying to participate and a person they wanted participating. I keep coming back to the idea that there is always more to a person than what we assume at first glance. And I wonder, what assumptions were made about us when we stepped forward? Were we seen as too young to understand, too inexperienced to contribute, too eager to be taken seriously? If we had been given the benefit of the doubt, if people had been curious instead of cautious, I think this process would have looked very different. So what now? There are real questions that need answers. If we require an internship, at what age does it apply? What would this internship entail? How do we ensure fair treatment for youth genuinely interested in leadership roles? Right now, the bylaws say board members must be at least 16. That's not great, because at 16, youth are also on the verge of graduating and moving on. The timing makes it harder for youth to get involved in leadership before they're preparing to leave. I don't expect waves of youth suddenly lining up to be on the board, but even a couple would be a huge step forward. And that's what we want. We don't want to be token youth included just for show. We want to be youth on the board, voting, speaking, and taking seriously as people. This experience has taught me something. At my age, being taken seriously sometimes means fighting a little harder, speaking a little louder, and standing firm when my abilities are questioned unfairly. I don't like that. It's frustrating, and it's unfair. But until the process changes, it's necessary, not just for me, but for every youth after me who wants to step up and lead. And maybe that's part of what it means to listen deeply and move beyond assumptions, recognizing that leadership, wisdom, and capability don't have an age limit. Maybe curiosity, love, and generosity and connection aren't just things we talk about, but can be things that we practice. I believe we can build a church where youth aren't just seen during pageants or a single youth-led service, but where they are truly seen, where their voices are heard, their leadership is welcomed, and their full humanity is honored. And I believe that's worth fighting for.
This song from the African American spiritual tradition reminds us to show up. Despite the pain and fear and anger, we have to let our light shine. A light of freedom, justice, equality, openness, courage, compassion, peace, and love. Let us turn to this song, hymn number 118, This Little Light of Mine, and let us turn this song from a sweet, light, happy song to a song of defiant protest and resistance.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of I forgot how it went. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Lifting up the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Please join me in the spirit of prayer. Honor our ancestors, story tucked into our hearts. Bless the stories reaching back to when the world began. Blessings to my siblings as we break the world apart, touch the soul inside of it, and build the world again.
Good morning. Buenos dias. My name is Reverend Maria Cristina, and I am so blessed to be here this morning led by our youth. This is a time in our service when we create a container of love and compassion to lift up our prayers, our intentions, to reach deep into our hearts, to ask what is weighing heavily. What is something that is worrying me? If you receive difficult news, if you've been struggling, or if you can't wait to share a joy, here is where we share our joys and sorrows. If you are here in person, you can write your joy or sorrow or intention on a card. There's usually a card and a pencil underneath the chair in front of you. But if you don't find one, just raise your hand and the ushers will come by to provide you with one. When you're done writing, raise it, and the ushers will collect those and bring them up to me, and I will read them aloud from the pulpit. If you are at home, you can type it into the chat, and our lovely music director, Eric Lane Barnes, will read it from his laptop. And we also know that there are prayers and intentions that have no words, that sometimes just can't be shared in public. So you're always welcome at any point in the service to come up and light a silent candle or to embody something that you need help releasing. If there's anything weighing heavily, if there's something that is no longer serving you, you can drop a pebble into the water. Sometimes that helps us to imagine the next step in letting go. I want to start with a joy and gratitude for the youth. The truths that they have shared are the light that shall keep illuminating our path as a congregation. And I want to invite the youth because my door and my heart, they're always open. If you need a cheerleader, here I am. Let us now take a deep breath together. Let us ground ourselves, center love and compassion. Think about all the people that need our care and support, including ourselves. All the people who are struggling. All the people who are in pain, either in body or in spirit. Anyone who is struggling maintaining their sobriety, especially during these difficult times. You are in the right place. You are in a safe and friendly place here at East Shore. We welcome your whole self. I want to give a special mention of gratitude because we have a group of people here who are usually only online. They connect from Murano. And I want to thank Betsy Gelb for inviting our Murano friends to be here in person this morning. And I mentioned them during Joys and Sorrows because my intention is to build a bridge, to connect with the Murano East Shore community, to provide pastoral care, to provide support, and for them to know that we do our work beyond our walls. We build community wherever we find ourselves. And so thank you, Betsy. Thank you, Murano friends, for being here. Thanks, Jeannie. This is a very special joy. Happy birthday, special Purple Lassie, the 9th Wednesday. Happy birthday. Thank you. This is from Carolyn Campbell. Thank you to all the members of my meal train. Your kindness made my recovery so much easier. Bless you all. This is why we need each other. This is why it's wonderful to be in community. If you ever need a meal or transportation, a visit, either in the hospital or your home, please know that we have a wonderful group of lay pastoral ministers, and including myself, but other volunteers who sign up regularly to be there when you have surgery, when you need it the most. So this is the joy and the blessing of being part of a beloved community. Thank you. This is not signed, and I think it's all about baseball. Please forgive me. Eyes to see my grandson had a wonderful baseball game, double play, 5 RBIs. Thankful for Providence Point. Thank you for sharing. Good for your grandson. I don't know a lot about sports, but this sounds like a good thing to celebrate. From Amanda and Doug. Joy that we had a wonderful trip to Hawaii and reconnected with our son after a 3.5-year silence. We are also happy to be reconnected. I want to stop here and recognize how painful it is to be disconnected from family, from loved ones, especially when you're a parent. 3.5 years can seem like a lifetime when you are hoping, when you are praying, when you are vulnerable, and you bring that pain and you bring that hope into community. I want to say thank you to the universe. I want to say thank you to Amanda and Doug for being so persistent in their unconditional love, for building community as they waited for the miracle to happen. And I know that most of our miracles are made by ourselves and in community. I am so happy for you. Thank you for sharing this joy. This is not signed, but I'm going to take a wild guess that we share this sentiment. I am moved beyond measure to experience church as it was meant to be. Love abounds in this room. Amen and hallelujah. Thank you, Carla. Lots of joys and sorrows. I love it. And if you're ever wondering what happens to these cards, what does she do with them? She brings them to her office where there are multiple bowls filled with healing herbs. And I read them. And I figure out who needs a phone call, a card, or a lay pastoral minister visit. And I pray over them every week, so you are never forgotten. Let's see here, double-sided. Kathy Falanga wants to share a joy, but also a bit apprehensive, ... Friday was my last day at work. After 31 years, I retired. I'm grateful for the beautiful tribute my friends and colleagues gave me, both excited and nervous about tomorrow and the next chapter in my life. We hold you, in the joy. We hold you in the uncertainty, and we are here to provide the room, the space, the connection, the support necessary to figure out those next steps. You are not alone. We congratulate you for those 31 years of service. Thank you for sharing. Where is Kathy? There you are. From Carol S. I'm guessing this is Carol Sanapi. Yes? My dear friend Peggy in New Jersey was recently diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Please keep her in your prayers. We will. Thank you. I'm so very sorry, and thank you for being a good friend and for asking for prayers, because no matter what you think prayer is or should be, it's a loving energy. I believe it will reach your friend Peggy in New Jersey. From Bill Austin. My son Steve in the UK has myeloma cancer. I'm so sorry, Bill. I am so sorry, and I hope that you will reach out to us. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help, to support you. We know that being so far away can be so difficult, especially right after your surgery. So please, never hesitate to reach out. From John Schmay. Gratitude for the hope and joy yesterday's hands-off protest brought to me. Smiley face. Yes, indeed. I have seen so many posts of people feeling empowered, feeling that they matter, that their voices matter, that it matters that you show up in public to say hands off, to say no more, to say we demand justice. So thank you, John, and thank you, all of you. I know there was a large group here, both in Issaquah and other places, so thank you to everyone who showed up. I know this is not the only way that we resist. I know that it's valid for those of us who are vulnerable, who can't run the risk, right? That we are being held in care, and that we are doing our own version of protesting, and that all the ways we show up are valid and important. So thank you for those who made the signs. Thank you for those who showed up. And I hope that the feeling, that connection, that seeing others will lift your spirits up and remind you that you are not alone in this. And this is a follow-up to that. 5.2 million people joined the Hands Up protest in the US yesterday. Yay! Deep gratitude for our youth and for Amanda Alice for telling us some things about showing up. Amen and hallelujah. This is from you, Anne. Positive thoughts for Bill. He's resting after an afternoon in the ER with a hemiplegic migraine and inability to breathe easily. We will keep Bill in our prayers, and we'll keep you very present for anything we can do, Anne, to support you as well. I know that Bill was there during the protest, I believe, and it is amazing, no matter what your ability, that people are showing up and they're risking so much. So we appreciate the effort that everyone makes. We'll keep Bill in our prayers, and I will keep you on my phone at the ready to let you know that you have a caring community and you are not alone. We now lift up all the silent candles, all the silent prayers, those that remain in your heart. Somebody is wanting to say something.
We've got some Zoom prayers.
All right.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Barbara Rattel shares, my brother is having a difficult time dealing with my mother's passing and moving forward. He's having trouble moving out of the house and all of the changes that he needs to deal with.
Thank you, Barbara. We are with you.
And Nicole Duff shares, I was out sick most of this week, but feeling better-ish, but still coughing. Joy and thanks to Jenny Newell and Amanda Strombaum for helping make sure everything was still ready for Sunday, and to the volunteers today for ensuring everyone feels welcome.
We love you, Nicole. Healing prayers.
And Lassie Jordan says, I was at the Hands Off rally in Redmond. Joy and inspiration. Thank you for my birthday wishes.
We love you, Lassie. Happy birthday. Any more prayers? Let us lift up all the spoken prayers, the silent prayers, those that remain in our hearts, with the words we have learned from Reverend Dr. Rebecca Parker, who taught us that there is a love holding me, there is a love holding you, and there is a love holding all. May we rest in that love. Amen, and blessed be. It's a special service. Let's take a deep breath together.
I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
Our congregations all across this country and around the world want to nurture and empower the flame of truth, justice, and creativity in individuals of all ages, as well as in our religious communities. We invite you to consider your support of East Shore's mission. Your gifts of time, sweat, care, and yes, finances help to keep our congregation going. The ushers will pass around plates where you may place cash or a check. You may also text ESUC Share to 73256 or go online to esuc.org/give and click on our online giving link. Thank you for your continued support of this amazing community. Before we wrap up, I would like to share a simple but powerful way to support trans folks in our wider community. We are partnering with Point of Pride, an organization that provides help to trans people facing barriers to healthcare. One way they do this is by including handwritten letters of encouragement in their care packages, 88% of which go to trans youth under 24. That's where we come in. Supplies for writing letters are set up in the sanctuary foyer, the room right behind this one, before and after the service. No sign-up needed. Just stop by, write as many notes as you'd like, and get as creative as you want. We'll collect them throughout the month and send them at the end of April. If you'd like to help even more, donations of postage stamps are super appreciated. Let's take a few moments to remind people that they are seen, valued, and not alone.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
The central task of the religious community is to unveil the bonds that bind each to all. There is a connectedness, a relationship discovered amid the particulars of our own lives and the lives of others. Once felt, it inspires us to act for justice. It's the church that assures us that we are not struggling for justice on our own, but as members of a larger community. The religious community is essential, for alone our vision is too narrow to see all that must be seen, and our strength is too limited to do all that must be done. Together, our vision widens and our strength renewed. As we leave here today, we give thanks for the many stories of our lives and for all those who hold us gently while we tell them. May our spirits be uplifted and our hearts enlivened.
Concludes our service. Please join us in the sanctuary foyer or in the North Room. Thank you.
And after your coffee break, today we begin a new class. It's called Our Spiritual Journeys, based on the book Building Your Own Theology. You don't need to have read the book. Anybody who is curious and interested, I will be here and we'll begin at noon or soon before noon. I want to make sure you have time to visit with friends and have a cup of coffee. So everyone is invited. Thank you all. Thank you to the youth.